everyone, welcome to this video. This video is going to be about the new moon in Pisces today, which is also a supermoon, which means the moon is closest to the earth, and it's also a total solar eclipse. So there's a lot going on with this event today. It's also one of 3 events this month that's happening in this new moon in Pisces, supermoon, total solar eclipse today on the 8th. And then we've got the spring equinox coming up this month. And then on the other side of the equinox on the 23rd, we have a full moon, which is also a lunar eclipse. So it's a lot of charged energy this month. There's a lot of potential. If March has been feeling different to a lot of you, there's a lot of stuff going on in the sky right now. And today's new moon has some interesting things about it, especially with the total solar eclipse. One of the strange phenomena that's going on with this is that it may seem to make time move backwards. The reason that is, and this has some archetypal meanings too. The reason that it may appear to make time move backwards is that it actually begins the eclipse on March 9th, tomorrow, and then it will go backwards over the international date line and finish on March 8th, which is Tuesday. So it's a very strange phenomenon. If you wanted to find out more information about this, the New York Times has a good science article about how that works. But so there's a real theme of going backwards and exploring old wounds. We also have Chiron, which is the wounded healer, which is conjunct the sun and the moon in Pisces at the south node. And it's shedding light, new information about old wounds and having a new approach to those. It's sort of like the eclipse is clearing out old baggage, old shadows, old ways of looking at things. And Chiron always points to where we have opportunities to grow, to heal, and then to serve and heal others through our growth in those things. So, and South Node is usually the baggage that we carry either from past incarnations or past traumas, things that have happened in our past, generational wounds. So with the sun and the moon aligning with Chiron in Pisces in the south node, it's a real time for old wounds to be liberated, to be cleared, and for new approaches to be taken regarding those old wounds. So it's almost like turning back time to restart and retry a new approach. It reminds me of a Beckett quote that says, "Ever tried, ever failed, try again, fail better." So it's a new way to approach old wounds and maybe clear out some of the old baggage that accompanies those. It's also in opposition. This event is in opposition to Jupiter, which is in conjunction with the North Node in Virgo. And so what that tells us, Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It's the planet of benevolent action. It makes anything that it touches larger. So the North Node is a place to focus on our dreams, where we're headed both individually and collectively. And in Virgo, it's talking about being grounded. It's talking about becoming more connected with Mother Earth. This Jupiter conjunct North Node in Virgo, which is the maiden, it's an earth sign, is also in opposition to Ceres, who's in the along with Pisces, with the sun and the moon and Chiron. So I'm seeing a lot of potential to connect with Mother Earth. There's a lot of healing potential, and there's a lot of ability to focus on the expansion of where we're headed in terms of Virgo, which is practicality, pragmatism, being grounded, being connected, the maiden energy. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And I also want to say that in this event, there's a lot of oppositions and squares. So it's very charged. There's a lot of planets. There's 4 major planets that are at 18 degrees. The sun and the moon are at 18 degrees Pisces. and Jupiter is at 18 degrees Virgo, which is directly opposite. And then we also have Uranus kind of throwing a curveball, which is square at 18 degrees Aries. So I'm a little concerned with all this square and opposition energy and all, directly at 18 degrees. I'm concerned that we may see a surprising event having to do with Mars energy, which is Aries. I want us to keep our thoughts and prayers with Micronesia and Indonesia, where this eclipse is going to be most prominent. I'm hoping for, sometimes when I see a lot of squares and oppositions, especially with eclipse energy, which can be shadow energy, and with Mars present, which is the warrior. Let's just keep Micronesia and Indonesia in our thoughts and prayers. Uranus can sometimes throw some surprises into the mix and things that are unexpected. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But in the majority of things, this is a real opportunity for healing, for going forward, connecting with Mother Earth, healing old wounds, uncovering baggage from our past, especially related to wounds from South Node type things, and to be focusing on the development and growth of where we're headed, Jupiter conjunct North Node in Virgo. I also want to say that the Sabian symbol for 19 degrees Pisces is a master that is giving lessons to an initiate, to his disciple. So it's a really good time to learn from our past, learn from mistakes in our past, learn from the experience of our past. If we think of master energy, it's someone who's collected experience, and he's imparting this knowledge to the disciple or the initiate. So it's an opportunity for us to absorb that knowledge from the past, learn from our mistakes, and take that into our collective future. So that's a long intro for this video, but I know there's a lot of things going on. This eclipse is only going to be happening for 4 minutes and 9 seconds. If you want to watch that begins at 5:38 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and NASA is going to be doing a live broadcast of it. It'll be going on for 4 minutes. So that's available. There's a lot of links on the net where you can watch this. So with that being said, I'm going to go into each of the signs and talk about what this new moon, total solar eclipse, supermoon in Pisces at 18 degrees 55 means for each sign. So I'm going to start with Pisces here. I'll also put in the notes where each sign starts, so you can just go straight to your sign if you want to look down there. And I'm just going to start with Pisces here. So Pisces, this new moon happens in total solar eclipse happens in your first house of identity. So if you are looking to become a new you, to release some old wounds from the past, over the course of the next 6 months may be a great time to develop that. If you want to sow the seeds of who you want to become over the next 6 months, this total eclipse can bring up some insights to old baggage and old wounds, conjunct with Chiron, that you may want to have a new approach to and a new direction to. So you may feel like you're becoming a new person over the next 6 months. You may feel like you're releasing some old wounds from the past over the next 6 months. And look to when the full moon in Pisces comes next, because from the new moon in Pisces to the full moon of Pisces, that is the growth of that system. That's the growth of the new you. These are the seeds that you can set intention for the next 6 months and watch that develop, watch the new you emerge over the next 6 months. And it can be, because it's in your first house of identity, it can feel like you're a new person, that you've developed a new personality, a new identity, a new you. Sometimes it can feel like infant energy because it's new moon in identity, but it's a new part of yourself that you are unveiling. It's almost like the snake shedding its skin, and the new snake with the raw, fresh skin gets to be exposed and acclimated to the world. So enjoy that, Pisces. Enjoy, a new birth to yourself. There's a lot of Pisces who are having birthdays this month, so happy birthday to you, and enjoy this new phase of your personality and identity and releasing some of the old wounds from the past. That's up for review. For Aries, this new moon in Pisces, supermoon total solar eclipse, is happening in your 12th house. So it's a good time to focus on dreams that you have, clearing out things from your subconscious. It would actually be a great time to do therapeutic work or depth psychology work, anything that has to do with the unconscious. It would be good to do dream journaling, anything, or even visiting someone who can help you uncover things that reside in your subconscious or unconscious. If there's old wounds from the past, especially this total solar eclipse in your 12th house, which represents governmental structures, things that are restrictive, things that hold you in, things like jails or large governmental organizations, anything that keeps you feeling structured or rigid or bound, or even like mental hospitals, anything that is restricting you that resides within your subconscious or unconscious. This is a wonderful time to uncover that, especially if it has to do with anything from the past, traumas from the past, anything related to what I'll call old baggage. Really great time to make a shift and go in a different direction that releases you from that. Also, because it's 12th house, it's a really good time to study your dreams, Aries. Really good time to sow seeds for what you want your dreams to look like over the next 6 months. So if you have a dream that you want to achieve or bring into existence between now, especially today, setting the intentions today, or plus or minus 3 days, over the next 6 months is a good time to nurture those dreams and watch them develop. So anything related to the subconscious, releasing old baggage from the past, setting off on a new journey away from those old wounds, healing those old wounds. Really great time for healing for things that have to do with your subconscious or your unconscious. So feel free and feel empowered to dig deep, Aries. There's a lot of stuff available to you right now. For Taurus, we have the super moon total eclipse, new moon in Pisces, happening in your 11th house of community, of friendship, of humanitarianism. So that you may have some new possibilities regarding connecting with new types of people, developing a new community, reaching out to groups or participating in groups. Between now and the next 6 months, you may sow the seeds to develop an entirely new community, Taurus. If you've had dreams about wanting to start a community, start a group or a network, it's a great time for social networking. Great time to see how you have connected to community in the past, and if you have any traumas or wounds related to that, this is a time to release yourself from those. So it's really featured for the next 6 months for you, Taurus. Great time to focus on friendships, on community, on humanitarian projects, anything like that, that if you wanted to say add a bunch of new types of friends to your social circle or community, over the next 6 months is a great time to do that, and you can begin that now and sow the seeds of that now and watch that develop over the next 6 months, Taurus. So enjoy that. For Gemini, this happens in your 10th house. This new moon total solar eclipse in Pisces is happening in your 10th house. So some of you may be wanting to change careers. For Gemini, if you have been doing something that was just because, say, your parent did it, and that's been your career or your status or your reputation, you may decide that you want to go in a completely different direction regarding your career. Or alternately, you may add a whole new level of status, reputation, accolades, anything, any kind of thing that has to do with your career development, reputation, status, um, credentials. So either you go in a different direction or you add a whole nother layer, because this is releasing baggage from the past. If you had gone into, for example, a certain career because your parents wanted you to do it, or because your grandparents did that, or it's a family business, this may be a time when you have an awakening or a review process of your career choice based upon past influences, and sowing seeds for a new direction or a new involvement of depth. So if you did something and have developed a certain level of expertise, you may add on another specialty during the next 6 months. This is all to do with your career, your reputation, your status in the world, your outward status. And because this new moon total solar eclipse in Pisces is happening in your 10th house, it means that there may be a change. You may be reviewing how the past influenced your choices here, and a new direction that you want to go in, releasing wounds, healing regarding this. So that's kind of good news, Gemini. If there's another specialty that you want to add on to something that you're already doing, now's a good time to begin that. Cancer, for you, this is happening, this new moon in Pisces, total solar eclipse today, is happening in your, ninth house of higher learning, of spirituality, of publishing, and of travel. So if you have been looking to study something that involves spirituality or higher learning of some sort, if you've been looking to take like a college class, or if it regards to spirituality, now is a good time to do that, especially if it relates to anything that you have had where you've brought baggage from the past or you need to do healing from it. For example, if you wanted to study psychology to release some things that from the past, or publish articles regarding things that you have healed from, especially as it relates to spirituality, higher learning, or travel. Great time, Cancer, to do some traveling and sort of reevaluate where, if some of you may have epiphanies during travel regarding your spirituality. That can really happen in the 9th house of travel with this eclipse happening. So some of you may want to plan a trip between now and the next 6 months. You might have some opportunities for higher learning, for travel, for epiphanies or revelations regarding spirituality, especially healing from the past. So if there's something that was a trauma from the past, something that you haven't been able to let go of, now is a good time to look into that. Higher learning, again, travel's featured, publishing. Of course, if you're writing about travel, that's doubly featured. Things having to do with spirituality or higher learning. So Cancer, enjoy that. Leo, this new moon, which is a super moon and total solar eclipse in Pisces, is happening here in your 8th house. So something may come to light that had been hidden before. The 8th house is the house traditionally of regeneration, transformation, secrets, taboos, things that make us transform, things that bring us new, hidden, secret knowledge that comes to light. And with this eclipse, this total solar eclipse, there's definitely shadow work that is featured here, Leo. So look to see what's in the shadows. Look to see what you have been keeping in the shadows, what you have been keeping secret, and see how you can bring it out for healing now. This is featured for you over the next 6 months. If there's something from the past that you need to release, the reason I say from the past is because this new moon is conjunct Chiron, which is our areas of wounding, and it's also conjunct the South Node, which is baggage that we bring in, or that we have, that we're carrying with us. So it's a good time to look into secrets, taboos, hidden information that can come to light that can help to transform you. It's a really good time to sow seeds of who do you want to become over the next 6 months as we go from the new moon in Pisces to the full moon in Pisces. It's a time for transformational development, and it's a time when you can have insights and have access to information that had been secret or hidden, because this 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 eclipse is about shadow and umbra and the light being blocked for a moment, and this 8th house is about hidden information and things that are in shadow. So it's a moment where those things align, and you can really take a look at how what has been in the shadows, what has been hidden, can be brought to light and transform you over the next 6 months. It's really powerful, Leo, for you. For Virgo, this super moon, new moon, total solar eclipse in Pisces is happening in your 7th house. So this is really a transformation of partnership. 7th house is partnership energy, Virgo. So if you are in partnership, if you're in a marriage or a partnership, this could signal the time for a completely new phase of this relationship. You may have a real deepening of this relationship over the next 6 months. You may be able to release some old baggage from your past in regards to your partner, or your partner may be able to help you through releasing old baggage from the past. This is really featured for you right now, Virgo. And some of you may be changing partners, because it really shows that in your partnerships you're going to be going in a new direction. There's a real opportunity for healing there, especially featured right now. So look, Virgo, for healing in your relationships. That's going to be a feature of this new moon for you, whether it's a deepening of your existing relationship, whether it's healing in terms of how you have approached relationships in the past, or healing any hurts that you have regarding relationships. It's a really powerful time to set new intentions for that and watch that grow and develop over the next 6 months. You can look for results for that from that, or deepening of your relationship and through now until the full moon in Pisces. So that is featured for you, Virgo, new moon in partnerships. For Libra, Libra, this is happening in your 6th house of day-to-day routines, health, lifestyle, the things that you do on a day-to-day basis. So it can revolve around work or obligation or duties, but it's things that your habits, your day-to-day lifestyle, and often your health. So Libra, if you have been wanting to institute a new health regime or do something completely different from how you have lived in the past, this is a wonderful time to begin that and set new intentions and start new habits regarding that. For example, if you have always wanted to eat healthily or look into, say, nutrition, now is a fantastic time to do that. You have a lot of support and empowerment to institute those changes. If you have day-to-day health, lifestyle, dreams and habits that you would like to integrate into your life, now is a time when you have a lot of support. You can watch that happen between this new moon in Pisces over the next 6 months to the full moon in Pisces, and you may see that you have a completely different life, a completely different day-to-day life by the time that full moon in Pisces rolls around. Now is a good time to begin those new habits, especially regarding lifestyle, diet, health, your day-to-day habits, anything that you want to change about how you're living, how your daily lifestyle. Wonderful featured time to change that, Libra, or to set new intentions of things that you want to accomplish between now and see the fruits of that between now and the next 6 months. So Scorpio, this is happening for you. This new moon, super moon, total solar eclipse in Pisces is happening in your 5th house of true love, of creativity, of expression, of children. So this is a time when you can really set some intentions for some creative projects that you've been wanting to do. If you've wanted to launch out into an art career, or if you've been wanting to do an artistic project, or anything that has to do with your expression. 5th house is the traditional house of Leo. So it's a house of speaking your truth. It's a house of personal expression, letting your light shine. Fifth house can also have to do anything that we produce or anything that comes from us. So children, creative projects. It's also the house of true love. So there may be a way in which, if you are with your current true love, you may have a new dimension of that relationship happening, or some of you may find your true love between now and the next 6 months. That's actually really featured for you, Scorpio, between this new moon in Pisces and the full moon in Pisces. It may not appear to be what you thought it was, because this eclipse energy, it's in shadow. So because it's got that going backwards feel to it, it may be like you're reviewing what you thought was true love, what true love looked like, and going in totally different direction. So whether you're in a current relationship or not, that may be up for review, looking into your past and seeing where wounds were. You might end up with a new development in terms of regarding your partnership or true love, or even your children. You may have a completely different outlook. Those of you who did not want kids may all of a sudden want kids. Those of you who didn't want, vice versa, who have always wanted kids may no longer. There's a real epiphany or revelation or review of old information, especially regarding creative projects, true love, or children when this comes up. So look into that over the next 6 months, Scorpio. There's some really interesting things happening for you in that sector. Sagittarius, you have this new moon, super moon, total solar eclipse happening in your 4th house. So Sagittarius, the 4th house is the house of home. It's the house of parents. So you may have some real depth work to do regarding one of your parents, an old baggage that relates to one of your parents, Sagittarius. That's the feeling that I'm getting for you, is that it's really to do with one of your parents, whether they've passed away or they're still living. There is some old baggage and old wounds to be released over the next 6 months. A lot of healing that can be done over the next 6 months. And for some of you, it just may be in regards to your home. So some of you may decide that you want to move to a new home. Some of you may be exploring how you want to heal in regards to your home situation, your current home situation, or your childhood home situation. Because this is a total solar eclipse, and because it's got Chiron conjunct the sun and the moon here in Pisces, a lot of room for healing regarding the home, Sagittarius. Now, whether that's your childhood home, a parent, or your current existing home, there's a lot of change available, new directions, and healing from the past that's available with this new moon in Pisces and over the course of the next 6 months. Or it can just be healing that needs to happen in the home. So if your home life needs attention, Sagittarius, now is a wonderful time to set new intentions for what you would like to create over the next 6 months. You'll have a lot of support in that area. So for Capricorn, this new moon, total solar eclipse, supermoon is happening in your 3rd house of communication, also of self-expression. This is the traditional house of Gemini. So this rules for you, Capricorn, about how you want to communicate. If you need to speak to someone about old wounds that were in the past, that's featured for you starting now and over the next 6 months until the full moon in Pisces. Any communication is featured for you, Capricorn. So whether that's over the radio, whether that's in person with someone else, whether that means writing about something, that's speaking your truth, it really is about expression. So, and it's throat chakra energy. It's about speaking your truth. And there's a lot that can be done in terms of healing for you right now by speaking and communicating with others. Now, whether that's through either lecturing to a group of people, again, just one-on-one between a friend or a loved one, a family member, all of this is communication, and it may be a new way of communicating. So because it's got this eclipse energy, it's sort of rolling things back, reevaluating things, and seeing how we want to heal from the past. So if some of you want to take courses, for example, in nonviolent communication or different ways of communicating. Even studying a new language can be featured during this time, but it's information over the airwaves that is featured for the new moon in Pisces for Capricorn. So any type of communication, whether you want to share something with someone, broadcast something, express something, review how you communicate and speak with other people, that is all absolutely featured for you right now in this house of expression and communication. And this can be something that you develop over the course of the next 6 months, Capricorn. And then finally, Aquarius, this new moon in Pisces, supermoon, total solar eclipse, is happening in your second house of assets, of possessions, and values. So what this means, Aquarius, is that it may be a time where you're reviewing. I see a lot of you just cleaning out your closets, getting rid of old baggage, and seeing what no longer serves you, what you want to get rid of, and making room for new things over the course of the next 6 months that you may want to include as part of your possessions, your assets, or your values. So this can be as tangible as throwing out like an old sweater and making room in your closet for new clothes. It can be as intangible as saying that you now want to incorporate new values into your life and heal from old values that are no longer true for you. So it can be something as mundane and physical as assets, possessions that you're getting rid of, healing from old things. It can be, attachments that you have of ownership to people from the past that you're ready to release and heal from that. Or it could be something that you want to, let go of old false beliefs and incorporate values and beliefs that are more in accordance with who you are now. So for Aquarius, there's a lot of letting go of old things, old beliefs, old values, old possessions, old assets, and over the next 6 months, making room for new beliefs, new assets, new possessions, new things, both intangible or tangible, that you want to bring into your life, and reviewing the old stuff that you want to let go of, healing from any past attachments that you may have to things specifically or values, and making room for those new values to come in over the next 6 months until we get that full moon in Pisces. So that is the reading for everyone. Really harness this new moon energy, this eclipse energy. See if you can go back into the past. We've got this time moving backwards kind of energy in alignment with Chiron, in alignment with the sun and the new moon in Pisces, and Ceres, the Earth Mother. And they're in opposition to Virgo. Jupiter and the North Node in Virgo, which is all about expansion and being pragmatic and doing things, walking our walk. So real opportunity for a lot of healing from the past. So I encourage everyone to look into that and use this very charged, very powerful new moon to set those intentions. I want to thank everyone so much for watching. Yours in the stars.